So check this out. This is a one-of-a-kind LEGO Builders Club magazine lot. And if you're saying to yourself that Brick Kicks magazines are not one of a kind, you would be correct. Even though they're from the late 80s and early 90s, they're not particularly rare, nor are they worth all that much. But here's why this lot is one of a kind. So I found these at an antique market and happily paid $20 for the whole lot. What attracted me to them was the fact that they were still in their original mailing envelopes. And while these envelopes are quite cool and they're kind of rare, they definitely add to the excitement a little bit, but what tips this find over the edge to one of a kind is the fact that in the envelopes were all sorts of extras. Here's a sneak peek at the postcards, iron-ons, collectible cards, and best of all, large posters that make this go from cool to extraordinary. To have the magazines and special birthday mailings, there's 30 in all, in their original envelopes along with all the wonderful extras is what makes this one of a kind. You will not find this every day, or perhaps any day on eBay. So let's take a closer look. So this is the premiere issue, issue number 1 from 1987. It was kind of cool to see this. For this issue, I will show you all the different pages just to give you a sense of what it looks like. But for future issues, I'll just hit highlights. What you'll always see is on page 3, the main story. The main story is kind of interesting. Sometimes it has some interesting facts. This one includes a LEGO builder named Karsten Christensen, who claims that he knows the brick so well that he can close his eyes, shake a box, and describe what pieces are inside of it. I am a little skeptical, but who knows? Some of the earlier issues had kind of tricks and puzzles and things like that, which they got rid of after a while. They always had Builders Club featuring members' masterpieces. That was in every issue, and in fact, it expanded to 2 pages later on. Some of the builds were actually quite impressive. My favorite from this first issue was these 2 robots. I thought they had real personality. They were kind of very expressive. I liked how they were looking at each other. In the beginning, they had a comic, The Adventures of Brick Buildmore. Originally, it was full page, then it went to half page, and then ultimately they got rid of it completely. And another feature that was seen in every year that I have is building tips. And then what was awesome about this particular find is that there were extras. Every single issue had some kind of extra, some exciting, some not so exciting. In this one, because it was issue number 1, you got a certificate of membership. You got a membership card. And even though I didn't get it, they gave you a free set. What was super cool is they gave you a large poster. On the first side, they gave you a bunch of party games, and I was surprised by how many were non-LEGO oriented. They're just kind of regular games. But the kicker was the second side. Pin the flag on the king's castle. I thought this was great. I love the castle graphic, and I love the fact that they turned it into a game of, pin the tail on the donkey from the old days. Cut out the flags, put a blindfold on the kid, spin them around, and see if you can get the flag in place on the castle mast. The next issue I have is number 4, which means I'm missing a couple from that year. They have a cool sticker as an extra. The issue focuses on Zach, the Lego Maniac, which was a huge advertising focus for Lego that year.
Zach, he's a Lego Maniac. Zach, Lego Land.
You go behind the scenes, you see the actor, you get the lyrics for the song. It's pretty cool. There's a sneak preview section where you see some cool upcoming sets like Blacktron and Black Monarch's Castle. And there's also a cool iron-on, which makes you an official member and a master builder. It's that easy. The next issue is from fall 1988, and it looks at Legoland. Also has an interesting kind of side article about the presidential candidates who were given building kits with lots of bricks and were asked to build a model in 2 weeks. Robert Dole built a Kansas farm scene. Pat Robertson, not surprisingly, built a church. Alexander Haig wins for most boring, a debate forum complete with bleachers and spectators. And then you get a sneak preview of Futuron toys, some awesome sets, of course, like the Cosmic Laser Launcher and the best of all things, the Monorail transport system. The winter 88-89 issue was the last one I actually opened, and it was as if I had saved the best to last. It did have a couple of cool things. It had this robot that helped you eat spaghetti, apparently, which I thought was pretty funny. This issue arguably featured the most interesting Builders Club members masterpiece. It is The First Church on the Moon by Gregory. I would give even odds that Gregory became a priest. They had another adventure of Brick Buildmore. Loved the flaming graphic. But the best find, the one that just made me so happy, was this Futuron monorail poster. It is a large poster, about 2 by 3 feet. And like pretty much all the posters I found, no pin marks, no rips, no tears, no tape. It's like they're basically unused. The Monorail is such a classic set. I was so excited to get this. The next issue had a interesting story about a kid who gave his father a Lego minifigure that he apparently buried on the top of Mount Everest. And if you didn't already think that Lego could do everything, well, here you go, freewheeling tortoises with Lego legs. And then this was my first batch of Lego postcards. These are all pirate themes, and these are actual postcards that you can actually send. This next issue had a sneak preview of some great pirate sets, and even better than that, it had a Lego Pirates poster, again in perfect condition. This issue had a Lego Christmas stocking build, and it also gave you the official Lego brick graph paper that would help you build it. On the back it was blank so you could make your own designs. Every year on their birthday, Builders Club members would get a special shipment. It was often a calendar like this one. On the top would be some kind of Lego set featured, and on the bottom they kind of kept it blank so that you could use it on various years by filling in your year and month and date. In this 1990 issue, I was impressed by the featured builder for the members' masterpieces, Klaus Dobisch. Hopefully I'm saying his name right. On a lark, I decided to Google him and see what came up, and even without putting Lego in there, his name came up. And I'm seeing Adams Bricks Junction and Brick Fair and some other things. I start clicking on some of the links, and it turns out that he has a bus here. The level of detail on the front of this classic bus by Klaus Dobisch is impressive. He's winning an award for this Austrian railway. And even as recently as Brick Fair, Virginia in 2024, who shows up but Klaus Dobisch winning an award for Best Military Vehicle. So I thought that was pretty funny. Also included in the issue was this fantastic M-Tron poster, The Power of Magnets. Love the detail, love the figures and all the different sets. This is probably my second favorite poster. Another issue from 1990 gives you a behind-the-scenes tour of the Lego factory. It also has a couple of cool builds like these mustaches and earrings for Halloween and this kind of cool duck. And there's also a neat little iron-on. It looks like it's kind of an M-Tron kind of thing, but I don't know who this crazy dog guy is tagging along for the ride. The next issue had this cool build for a toucan, and then I thought, it really looks like Toucan Sam from the cereal fame. And then an extra included in the envelope is this coupon for Fruit Loops. And I'm like, oh my god, that's too much. But then I see that you can get a free Lego building set, and I'm like, well, I can put up with a lot of crass commercialism if I get free Lego. This issue from 1991 features a little-known Lego mascot, the Surfing Hippo. I'd never heard of it before. It's pretty rare, as you can see on Bricklink. They included an iron-on, where you actually were able to color it with crayons and markers and then iron it on your shirt, which is kind of crazy. I like this insert that teased how do you build the most secret M-Tron space Voyager in the galaxy? Well, all you got to do is send for free directions and buy 3 sets, but still, it's free. It would be cool to build and it would be cool to have the directions. This was the first issue I had with a postcard that had a guess how many bricks game. On the back, they actually prompt you with 4 choices, so it comes down to multiple choice. I would still have gotten it wrong, believe me. This fall 1991 issue has some of my favorite members' masterpieces, this Duplo Krang by 4-year-old Joey, and this really kind of crazy praying mantis. What's new in Lego toys? Blacktron, Future Generation, including this awesome Alpha Centauri Outpost set, and this poster, Discovery at Rock Island Refuge, again in wonderful condition. This 1992 issue featured the Lego Imagination Center, the older version of today's Legoland Discovery Center. It was in the Mall of America. It had dinosaurs, it had clowns, it had even the circus act. It seemed pretty cool. Lego Members Masterpiece literally featured a space shuttle powered by a hamster. Also included was this Black Knights poster, probably my third favorite of all the posters I got. This was an extra mailing from 1993, Wizard's World. My understanding is that this was a large-scale build, an exhibit that went from museum to museum. There were some really incredible builds it would have been interesting to see in the day. Of course, they had to have a birthday wish book tie-in. Lego was definitely trying to promote their product in a variety of ways. You got to give them credit. This summer 1983 issue had this cool You Build It Lego Pinocchio with a nose that kind of expands when I guess you lie. Be cool to hook up some sensors to this and make it into a lie detector. It also had this extra kind of flyer with Ice Planet 2002 featuring Ice Station Odyssey, as well as this super cool Deep Freeze Defender. I thought that was pretty neat. And this was the one and only comic book I have that kind of accompanied this, full color, and I thought that was a pretty unique find. They also started to do some merch for the Lego Maniacs. This is a Lego Club Builder, Born to Build. Be cool to find one of these. This fall 1993 issue had a night theme, In the Days of Old When Knights Were Bold. Kind of just like saying that. It also had the single oddest build I've ever seen. It is the Dragon Castle. It's a living dragon that's also a castle. I cannot get over how strange that is. They also had this Lego Maniacs shirt featuring a Merlin on a dragon, and then this Ice Planet 2002 poster. Super cool. The winter 1993 members' masterpieces feature this wonderfully mundane school supplies with scissors, glue, pencils, calculator, even a stapler. I don't know why I loved it, but I did. Sneak preview of Lego Pirates. This very unique extra was included. Lego Builders Club collectible cards featuring dragons and pirates and Imperial Guards, Space Police. They had interesting information on the back, and I thought those were really unique. This was another special birthday mailing. It had this adventure activity book, which was again for a museum exhibit, and it had all sorts of different kinds of exhibits and structures and things like that. The things that I thought were the most interesting, there were the robots. There was one that you could apparently control with your voice. There was another that you could actually program, which I thought was pretty fascinating. And of course, they had to sell some Legos, so they had the birthday wish book. The spring '94 issue got in on the Jurassic Park craze. I really like how they made this Duplo Super Stegosaurus, and they used the bush pieces for the plates on the back. I thought that was very creative. They even gave you the official Lego graph paper so you could make it yourself. And then they had this extra sneak preview of the Islanders. The final issue from this lot is from summer 1994. It has this cool clock build that seems like it might really work. It has a sneak preview of Spirius, and then the grand finale is this double-sided poster, Spirius on one side and Islanders on the other. It was such a great way to finish up this unique, one-of-a-kind find. So that's it. And again, not every issue is included. Not every extra is included. There's a bunch of postcards, some calendars, some fun builders masterpieces, some official Lego builds, and more that were not included just to keep the video to some kind of reasonable length. I want to give a big shout out and thank you to Margaret from New Jersey. She was the young person who put this collection together as a child. I didn't know her. I think this is what she must have looked like, and I did find a class picture from her back in 4th grade. She apparently bought Lego from Denmark, directly from a store called Magasin, some kind of department store that was a fantastic department store, and she bought from there. I don't know why she would have done that, but she was obviously a true blue Lego person. This was the list they gave her. They told her it was going to be hard to figure out what the exchange rate was, but she did buy something from them because this letter says that Magasin owes her $1.83. I'm really grateful that she was such a wonderful collector of these things and she took such good care of it. If you're interested in learning more about these, I do have a playlist with 1-minute videos of every single one of these issues and all of the extras that were included. And I am selling these on eBay, so if you're at all interested, check these out. There are links for the playlist and the eBay listing in the comments below. I searched eBay for similar listings and did find this lot of 93, 95 magazines that sold for $1,000. It's almost hard to believe. It is a pretty neat lot, lots of magazines. It does have a couple of posters and some other inserts and things like that. I don't think it is as much as my lot has. Hard to know if this is just some kind of crazy one-off or if in fact my lot is worth this much, but I do really feel like it's very valuable, very unique.